fine with me. Yep, ready when you are.
Okey doke. You ready? Okay. I'd like to call the Town Board meeting of February 28, 2023 to order. Please rise and join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing for a moment of silence to remember those who served our country in the past and for those who continue to protect our country today. Thank you. Will you just get the sign-in sheets?
Sure.
I forgot them. And please note the emergency exits of the door you came in and the doors at the end of the hall and the door behind us. Okay. I will run through the resolutions quickly. Thanks a bunch.
No problem.
First one is our minutes. The second one is approving our 284 that the highway superintendent requested. The third one is a resolution authorizing stipulation of settlement and general release. This is a situation, unfortunately, that involved a town resident and the highway superintendent, who has a tremendous amount of leeway with highway law. The insurance company has spent a large amount of legal costs over a 4-year period, and the insurance company decided it was prudent to settle as opposed to going to trial and absorbing the additional costs. So that will be on our agenda tonight. Resolution number 4 is approving budget revisions. Number 5 is members to our new ethics board. That's a combination with the town of East Fishkill and the village of Pauling. Both Linda and Carol are currently serving on our ethics board and expressed an interest to continue with the new ethics board. Number 6 is our credit card policy. Number 7 is setting a public hearing for Elena Estates Drainage District. Number 8 is appointment of a new town justice. We had the resignation of the Honorable John Garrido, and the town board had advertised, and we had 2 quality candidates apply for this appointment, and we have decided to appoint Linda Murray. Linda's got an extensive experience in the court settings. I think it will provide her with the skills needed to step right in and provide an experienced and professional judge for Beekman's courts. So we're happy to welcome her to our town. Number 9 is again budget revisions. Number 10 is renewing our agreement with Tech Medical Services for testing for the employees of the Highway Department. Number 11 is approving entertainment for the egg hunt, which will be April 1st. Number 12 is approving entertainment for the band concert at Town Center Park. They had done a concert last year and it was really wonderful. It was well attended, so we're looking forward to that. And then number 13 is the payment of claims. Okay. So I will ask, let's see. Bill Crane? Oh, wait a minute, let's see. Which one's the agenda? I'm sorry, you're the public comment. Yeah, I'm sorry. Okay, so Leonard?
My name is Leonard Jarr. I live at 112 Bayer Drive here in Poquay. I have a question about number 3. I know that for brevity is the word to say when you want to say something short and sweet, but in this case it involves some kind of settlement, like you said, over a period of time that the insurance company's involved in and everything else. Is this going to cost the town money? And if so, how much of that is going to have to come out of your budget or our budget, the town budget, to make payment for that settlement. Today, most people will say, I didn't do it, and, you know, but they do settle it at some point. So this doesn't really address what the settlement is. If it's something that I can see in the town hall, then I'll deflect that until I get a chance to read what the settlement was. But I think that people in the town should be made aware of the fact that it's going to cost money to get that settlement put through, regardless of whether it would be me or somebody else. So that's one of
Well, the settlement is for $115,000, and that will come from the insurance money, and it will cost the town our deductible.
Okay, so it's not like it's going to be $115,000 out the door for the town?
No, but it will affect our insurance rates for next year.
Anytime you make a claim against an insurance company.
So, and I mean, they had extensive legal costs on top of the 115. So I'm sure for next year it will affect our insurance rates.
Okay.
But if you'd like to come to see, you can come in and give the town clerk a FOIL request, and you can get all the documents from the discovery and all of the documents involved in the case.
Okay, the other thing I raised was about number 8, which is the appointment of the new town judge. I know you said she has extensive law practice or whatnot. Is she a lawyer? She practiced law for how many years has she been around? And I guess she's the best qualified, or she wouldn't have you wouldn't have wanted to appoint her that job. I assume that Mr. Garrido had some input into this. I hope he did, because I have a lot of confidence in him and Judge Ferris. So, you know, again, it just says in the resolution that she's appointed as the new town judge. And although I'm at the meeting and I hear it, and maybe the people who are at home will see it on video, they don't know who Linda Murray is. I have no idea who she is, but
I don't know if you were able to look at it. I know you have a computer now. It was part of the supporting documents that went up with the town agenda. I can read some things. Your 3 minutes is just about up. So if you want me to read some things from Linda from her letter of interest, I'd be happy to.
okay, and
Okay.
my one last thing. I know it's not on my comment for the agenda items, but I wanted to put something down for the public comment and picked up the paper before I could sign it.
Okay, so I'll
when-
call you
yeah,
up for the
yeah,
public
okay,
comment,
no problem.
okay? But I'll give a little background that is with the supporting documents and will be included in the minutes for Linda Murray. She's worked for 5 judges and the New York State courts for nearly 15 years. She understands that important decisions are made every day on complex, confidential matters under strict time constraints. She's worked successfully with many judges while providing legal guidance to a staff of about 15 people on criminal and civil matters involving trials, motions, orders to show cause, the preparation of orders, and decisions of appeals. She's presently an associate court attorney in Poughkeepsie City Court. She's drafted thousands of decisions for judges and has the distinction of approximately 40 decisions selected for the publication in the New York Law Reporting Bureau. She regularly provides guidance and counsel to the judges, the chief clerk, non-attorney staff on all aspects of civil and criminal litigation through trial, newly enacted laws and regulations, as well as appeals. But most importantly, she feels she will provide a professional rapport with the staff, the people, the legal community, as well as the officers who serve our court.
Does she live in the town?
Yes. Do you want to start?
Sure thing.
Okay.
Whereas Town Clerk Lorraine Abatantuano has provided copies of the minutes of the February 14th, 2023 Town Board meeting to all members of the Beekman Town Board. And whereas Town Board members have had the opportunity to review said minutes, now therefore be it resolved that the Town Board hereby accepts the minutes of the February 14, 2023 Town Board meeting.
I'll second that.
Town board discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Councilman Stiegler?
Aye.
Councilman Bettalini?
Aye.
Councilman Limak?
Aye.
Councilwoman Warman?
Aye.
Supervisor Cavucci?
Aye.
Resolution passes.
Resolution 2. Be it resolved that the agreement between the Town Highway Superintendent of the Town of Beekman, Dutchess County, New York, and the undersigned members of the town board, pursuant to provisions of Section 284 of the Highway Law, agree that the monies levied and collected in the town for the repair and improvement of highways and received from the state for state aid for repair and improvement of highways shall be expended as follows. 1. General repairs, sum of $369,865 shall be set aside and be expended for primary work and general repairs upon 2.88 miles, 5.76 lane miles out of 135.92 lane miles of town highways, including sluices, culverts, and bridges having a span of less than 5 feet, and boardwalks or the renewals thereof. 2. Permanent improvements. The following sums shall be set aside to be expended for the permanent improvement of town highways. A. On the road commencing at the intersection of Sterling Drive and leading up onto Garden Hollow Road, finishing at the pavement end, a distance of 0.68 miles, 1.36 lane miles, or 4,780 feet, there shall be expended not over the sum of $113,427.50 for 1,185 tons of blacktop with traveled surface 24 feet with a thickness of 1.5 inches. B. On the road commencing at Lime Ridge Road, road traveling southeast on Lime Ridge Road, 4,850 feet, ending at the State Route 216, a distance of 0.92 miles, 1.84 lane miles, shall be expended not over the sum of $298,075 for 1,000 tons of blacktop, width of traveled surface 24 feet with a thickness of 1.5 inches. C. On the road commencing at the intersection of Gold Road and Depot Hill Road, traveling northwest on Gold Road for a distance of 0.46 miles, 0.92 lane miles, for a total of 2,500 feet, there shall be expended not over the sum of $58,000 for 620 tons of blacktop for a thickness of 1.5 inches. D. On the road commencing at the intersection of State Route 216 and Depot Hill Road, traveling east on Depot Hill Road for 4,350 feet, ending at the intersection of Carroll Lane, a distance of 0.82 miles, 1.64 lane miles, there shall be expended not over the sum of $103,138.75 for 1,080 tons of blacktop, width of traveled surface 22 feet with a thickness of 1.5 inches. And that is it.
Second?
No second.
Okay. Town board discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Councilman Stiegler?
Aye.
Councilman Badalini?
Aye.
Councilman Lemach?
Aye.
Councilwoman Warman?
Aye.
Supervisor Cavucci?
Aye.
Resolution passes.
Whereas a civil proceeding seeking money damage for the alleged violation of civil rights was commenced in the United States District Court for the Southern District, New York, 20-CV09180 VB PED against the Town of Beekman Highway Superintendent, the Town of Beekman Supervisor, and the Town of Beekman, and whereas the Town of Beekman served an answer denying any wrongdoing and seeking dismissal of the lawsuit, and whereas the matter was dismissed against the Town of Beekman Supervisor, leaving the Town of Beekman Highway Superintendent and the Town of Beekman as remaining parties in the action. And whereas to avoid the cost of further litigation, the parties wish to resolve all disputes and claims asserted or which might have been asserted in the lawsuit by means of settlement agreement and general release. Now therefore be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Beekman hereby authorizes a stipulation of settlement and general release in full satisfaction of this matter against, what's wrong? Oh, I'm sorry. Against the remaining parties. And be it further resolved, and the Highway Superintendent has signed the stipulation of settlement as a party defendant, and be it further resolved that the Town Board hereby authorizes the Supervisor to sign the stipulation of settlement on the town's behalf, as well as other documentation as may be necessary to effectuate the purpose and intent of this resolution, and fully settle and resolve the aforementioned pending action.
I'll second.
Town Board discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Councilman Stiegler?
Aye.
Councilman Badalini?
Aye.
Councilman Lemach?
Aye.
Councilwoman Warman?
Aye.
Supervisor Cavucci?
Aye.
Resolution passes.
Approved Town of Beekman Budget Revision Number 2022-12A. Whereas the Town of Beekman's Accounting Office recommends certain budget revisions based on department's requests and/or the Accounts Office review, analysis of expenditures or revenues, now therefore be it resolved that the following itemized revisions are approved by the Town of Beekman Town Board, identified as budget revision number 2022-12A as follows.
I'll second that.
Town Board discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Councilman Stiegler.
Aye.
Councilman Badalini.
Aye.
Councilman Leemak.
Aye.
Councilwoman Warman.
Aye.
And Supervisor Capucci.
Aye.
Resolution passes.
Whereas on February 14th, 2023, the Town of Beekman signed an intermunicipal agreement, IMA, with the Town of East Fishkill and the Village of Pauling for the formation of a joint ethics board to ensure objective hearings can be held. Now therefore be it resolved that the Town of Beekman hereby designates the following members to represent the Town of Beekman: Linda Bloomer, with a term to expire December 31st, 2025, Carol Ewan as alternate, with a term to expire December 31st, 2025.
I'll second.
Town Board discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Councilman Stiegler.
Aye.
Councilman Badalini.
Aye.
Councilman Leemak.
Aye.
Councilwoman Warman.
Aye.
Supervisor Capucci.
Aye.
Resolution passes.
Whereas the Town of Beekman credit card policy was approved on July 1st, 2015, and last modified on May 12th, 2020. Now therefore be it resolved that the Chapter 3, Section B, Paragraph 1 be amended to: the following employees will have authorization to process orders using Universal, Visa, MasterCard, etc. credit cards: the supervisor, the deputy supervisor, and the bookkeeper.
I'll second.
Town Board discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Councilman Stiegler.
Aye.
Councilman Badalini.
Aye.
Councilman Leemak.
Aye.
Councilwoman Warman.
Aye.
And Supervisor Capucci.
Aye.
Resolution passes.
Resolution 7, setting public hearing for Elena Estates Drainage District. Whereas the Town Board of the Town of Beekman, the Town Board, and the Town respectively, in the County of Dutchess, New York, has been presented with a petition by JSM Upstate Properties Incorporated, JSM, pursuant to Article 12 of Town Law, to establish a drainage district within the territory described in the petition, which territory is located wholly within the town, the proposed district. And whereas the boundaries of the proposed district shall incorporate the entirety of the parcel of real property having a tax identification number of 13220-675-8-00-642721-000, and being more particularly described as in deed from Nicolosi Buildings Incorporated to JSM Upstate Properties Incorporated, dated November 21st, 2006, and recorded in the Dutchess County Clerk's Office on December 11th, 2006, as document number 02-2006-9795. And whereas a map, plan, and report has been prepared by Dace Stokowska Engineering PC, duly licensed engineers of the state of New York, the engineers, describing the general plan for the proposed district, the MPR, with maximum creation costs of dollars to be determined and finalized in subsequent resolutions. And whereas all costs associated with the creation, including construction work and other expenses for the proposed district, shall be paid by JSM, so that no expense occasioned by the creation of the proposed district shall be levied and collected from the land within the district. And whereas it is projected that the annual maintenance for the proposed district as a whole shall be $5,360 and $5,360 per year, to be adjusted annually by the Town Board. Now therefore it is ordered and resolved that a meeting of the Town Board of the Town be held at the Town Hall, 4 Main Street, Bucquoik, New York, 12570, in the town on the 14th day of March 2023 at 7 p.m. to consider said establishment of facilities of the proposed district, and to hear all persons interested in the subject thereof concerning the same, or for such other action on the part of the Town Board with relation thereto as may be required by law. And is further ordered and resolved that the town clerk publish at least once in the official newspaper of Town of Beekman, and hereby designated as the official newspaper of the town for such publication, and posted on a signboard of the town, certified by said town clerk. The first publication thereof shall be posted to be not less than 10 or more than 20 days before the date of such hearing.
No second.
Town board discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Councilman Stiegler.
Aye.
Councilman Battagini.
Aye.
Councilman Limak.
Aye.
Councilwoman Warman.
Aye.
Supervisor Cavucci.
Aye.
Resolution passes.
Whereas the town board is desirous in filling the established position of town justice vacated by the resignation of the Honorable John Garrido, and whereas the town board is authorized under town law to make appointments and set salaries, and whereas the town board has had the opportunity to review the resumes of interested candidates and has held interviews with the candidates, now therefore be it resolved that Linda Murray is hereby appointed as Beekman Town Justice, performing all the duties and with the authority conferred or imposed by law starting March 1st, 2023, at the annual salary as stated in the 2023 budget.
I'll second.
Town board discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Councilman Stiegler.
Aye.
Councilman Battagini.
I'll be abstaining because I have a prior commitment, was unable to be here to interview the second candidate.
Councilman Limak.
Aye.
Councilwoman Warman.
Aye.
Supervisor Cavucci.
Aye.
Resolution passes.
Approved Town of Beekman budget revisions number 2023-1. Whereas the Town of Beekman's accounting office recommends certain budget revisions based on department's request and/or the accounting office review and analysis of expenditures or revenues, now therefore be it resolved that the following itemized revisions are approved by the Town of Beekman Town Board, identified as budget revision number 2023-1 as follows.
I'll second.
Town board discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Councilman Stiegler.
Aye.
Councilman Battagini.
Aye.
Councilman Limak.
Aye.
Councilwoman Warman.
Aye.
Supervisor Cavucci.
Aye.
Resolution passes.
Whereas the Town of Beekman coverage with TEK Medical Services expired in January, and whereas we have obtained a service agreement with TEK and the Town of Beekman Highway Department for testing of employees, now therefore be it resolved that the supervisor is hereby authorized to execute the appropriate service agreement with TEK Medical Services as submitted, and that the supervisor is hereby authorized to execute the appropriate documents to implement the renewal.
A second?
No
A
second.
second.
Okay. Town board discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Councilman Stiegler.
Aye.
Councilman Battagini.
Aye.
Councilman Limak.
Aye.
Councilwoman Warman.
Aye.
Supervisor Cavucci.
Aye.
Resolution passes.
Whereas the 2023 egg hunt has been scheduled for April 1st, 2023, and whereas the funds have been included in the 2023 annual budget to provide entertainment during said event, now therefore be it resolved that the town board hereby authorizes the supervisor to enter an agreement with Just for Fun for an inflatable Caterpillar craze delivery setup and damage waiver fee for an amount not to exceed $405. Number 2, 2x2 Animal Haven, Inc. for an amount not to exceed $500.
I'll second it.
Town board discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Councilman Stiegler.
Aye.
Councilman Battagini.
Aye.
Councilman Limak.
Aye.
Councilwoman Warman.
Aye.
Supervisor Cavucci.
Aye.
Resolution passes.
Okay. Resolution 12, approve entertainment for band concert at Town Center Park. Whereas 2023 recreation budget included funding for the entertainment for events for the summer months, now therefore be resolved that the following expenditure be approved in the amount of $600 for live music performed by the Click to perform at Town Center Park Pavilion on July 28, 2023, 6 p.m.
I'll second.
Town board discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Councilman Stiegler.
Aye.
Councilman Battagini.
Aye.
Councilman Limak.
Aye.
Councilwoman Warman.
Aye.
Supervisor Cavucci.
Aye.
Resolution passes.
Whereas the bookkeeper has audited and approved claims pursuant to Section 119 of Town Law as set forth in the attached abstracts, be it resolved that the payment therefore is hereby authorized as follows. Claims to be paid from the A General Fund, $74,026.14. Claims to be paid from the DA Highway Fund, $73,259.65. Claims to be paid from the SS Dover Ridge, $1,543.49. Claims to be paid from the SW Dover Ridge Water, $196.04. Claims to be paid from the in Agency Fund, $3,073.75. Claims to be paid from the H Capital Fund, $1,204.13, for a total of $153,303.20. 2/16/2023 payroll number 4. General Fund, $32,216.67. Highway Fund, $23,913.25, for a total of $56,129.92.
Second.
Town Board discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Councilman Stiegler?
Aye.
Councilman Battaglia?
Aye.
Councilman Limak?
Aye.
Councilwoman Warman?
Aye.
Supervisor Cavucci?
Aye.
Resolution passes.
Okay, other Town Board business, anyone?
Yes. The Office of Aging is hosting a free Veterans Resource Forum in Rhinebeck on March 14th. The Poughkeepsie County Office of the Aging invites veterans of all ages and their families to its Veterans Resource Forum on Tuesday, March 14th at the Pavilion at the Brookmead, 34 Brookmead Drive in Rhinebeck from 1 to 4 p.m. This free event will offer veterans and their families important information and connections to various agencies, including the county's Division of Veterans Services and Services Providers. Place is limited. Veterans can reserve their seats by calling the OFA at 845-486-2555.
Thank you. And I want to thank Sharon for preparing for tonight's meeting. I've been out as my son's recovering from hip surgery, so thank you for getting all of this done. It was great. And then our next regular board meeting is Tuesday, March 14th at 7 p.m. We will now do public comments. Bill?
Four pictures that I'm going to talk about. I hope you can share it.
Oh, sure. Here, just I'll pass them down if you want. No problem.
Bill Crane, 254 Gardner Hollow Road. The pictures that I've handed out are taken from at the top of Gardner Hollow Road, where the three towns, at least, they intersect Dover, Pauling, and Beekman. So I don't even know what exactly.
This is in the town of Dover, because our building inspector has been talking with Dover, but it's in the town.
Okay, it's in the town of Dover.
It's in the town of Dover.
Okay, it's at the top of Gardner Hollow Road, and it is in Dover. This is a project, it's on a land called Starkdale Farms. You can see 600 acres of trees are being cut down, 600 acres. It's in Dover. I'm gonna hand out a little sheet with some of the facts, so I don't have to go over them all now, so you can have some of the facts like the parcel number and so on if you can get involved in this. The DEC has, the land is owned by a man who lives in the Philippines, and it was logged some years ago. The DEC has told me that there are 2 threatened species, the Indiana bat and another species, a bog turtle, but they can log now because they're dormant. That when they wake up from the winter, they'll find their homes are gone, as will many other species of birds and small animals and big animals. The neighbors, more specifically, the neighbors and I are concerned, and there are 2 neighbors here with me tonight, are concerned that specifically concerned about soil erosion. Trees prevent, as you know, soil erosion, and when they're cutting down these trees, it's higher up. They're very worried it's going to come down Gardner Hollow Road. Water is going to come down, sediment's going to come down, sediment's going to get into the streams and affect our drinking water. So even though it's in Dover, we're going to get the effects. And it's also a place where so many of us in Beekman go up to relax. And we love the forest. As you go up the hill, on the left is a state forest, the West Mountain State Forest, and then you see this forest, and it's all one beautiful thing. Now it's getting decimated. It's an environmental treasure. On February 22nd, I went to the town board meeting of Dover and talked to them about the problem. I don't know if they understood exactly the impact of it. And they at that point, they weren't hardly aware of the problem, of what was going on. they told me initially it was being logged on state forest, and so I had to go back up and check and so on. But that's another story. It's the head of the Mid-Hudson Forest Products, who is the logger, has told me that they've been logging for a month and they have 1 month to go. So there's still time to act. And what I'd love for you to do, even though it's in a different town, can you help protect our road and our residents and who love that area by contacting the Dover board and asking them if would they be willing to talk about it, and can they halt it temporarily till we know what's going on and what the extent of the damage to our road will be.
Our building inspector, I believe it was last week, has been in contact with them and is trying to get more information in terms of it.
Thank you.
When we became aware of it.
That's great. So you guys will be on it?
Yes, we've been in
You said
discussion.
they're clearing 600 acres?
600 acres. It's massive.
It's huge.
Truck after truck.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, you got that. And I didn't know if your new Gardner Hollow Bridge,
I know. We're making sure that when they take them out, it's not coming back across that bridge. That's part of our discussion with them.
okay, and
Although the bridge was built to withstand,
I understand.
I would prefer them not to come down our way, so that is part of the discussion.
That's wear and tear on the bridge and the roads.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's not like,
No, heavy, yeah.
So
More
heavy.
Discussion, yeah. They went up to the site through the bridge, and we're looking to eliminate the possibility of them coming back down by way of Beekman.
Thank you for doing that. And the neighbors, I mean, they have various concerns, but it's sort of ruining the rural character. It's just damaging why we came here to live and what we value about this place. And it's another town, but it will affect the water. The water,
Right,
and
erosion.
it will affect the runoff and the flow because they're taking the trees out, the stumps out too, is what I understand. So I really appreciate what you're doing to try to.
I know she also talked to our forester, and he was aware of this was going on. So we are in conversations about it, but they did come in quite quietly and quite quickly in doing this.
And they didn't notify you.
No, definitely not.
They didn't notify their own board. Their own board didn't know. They were asking me questions. Well, where is the place?
Well, I think the difference if it had happened in Beekman, we have a timber law.
Yeah.
And that would have made all the difference in the world.
Yeah.
So it took us a long time to get that timber law, but it's one of the things that I'm most proud of is that timber law and the solar law. I think in long term, they're going to be very effective for the town of Beekman, at least to keep our forests and in terms of that. But we are working on it, Bill. I share your concerns, and I'm sorry.
Are they building or just foresting?
No, they're just foresting. They're just taking the timber.
That's a good, can I answer?
Sure.
That's right, that's what they told us. Some neighbors have been walking around there and they're taking photos, and they think, they're not so sure there isn't, because there was a plan to develop Windrose Farm a few, 2006, 2000, what? Windrose, yeah. So we don't,
And I don't know
They don't know
if
if
there's a
it-
project before the board.
you can't get that out of them.
I don't think there is.
So I wouldn't
so-
worry about,
Right.
at the
right.
moment.
At the moment, that's not the issue.
Yeah, that's right. The neighbors
Yeah.
are worried, because it
It's-
looks more like clear cutting in spots.
It's clear cutting. Clearly, it's clear
It looks
cutting.
more like that than it does logging.
Yeah. I'll be in touch with you.
Good luck.
Okay, yeah.
Bill, do you have something that you need to give me, or?
Oh, thank you.
I think he has something
You
else.
probably have all this, but I'm just gonna, it has a lot number and the address.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, we do have all of that. Yeah.
Do you know if they're in the federal forest exemption? Because they would have to follow guidelines if they.
Did you speak to DEC?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and what did they say? Nothing.
They don't want to do much, well, just,
Yeah.
they sent an email to the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service.
Well, they control most of the mountain up there.
And the DEC, no, so somebody at Hudson Institute referred me to them. Just trying to get a hold of them. They would be concerned about being dangerous.
Right, right.
Species. I don't think they care about our road.
No, I don't believe so. I can assure you that's not their concern. Yeah, it's the money that would be flying out to the Philippines from that venture, but not my road or the bridge.
It's almost like they waited for a good bridge to be finished.
I know, I know. I don't even have the guardrails up yet, so, okay, thank you, Bill. This was an important topic, so we did give you more than 3 minutes, but when a topic is that important to the residents, I think it's important to give it a little bit more time. Okay, I make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Wait a minute.
Oh, so sorry.
Leonard said that he
Oh, Leonard, I'm so sorry. Yes, come on up.
He didn't put his
I'm
name
so
down.
sorry, right, I'm sorry. No, it's my fault, and I actually wrote your name in for you, and I forgot. So, I was so upset about the trees.
I was a Boy Scout, so I understand all about trees. I appreciate Bill bringing it up. Again, my name is Leonard Jerem. I live in 112 Bayard Drive. There's two things I wanted to bring up. One is to recognize that one of the town's longtime residents, Robert John Seitz, recently passed away. He was 83 years old. I didn't know him that well, except that I met him at the Shell station. We had coffee just about every morning. He had a yellow Volkswagen that he loved, and it still has, apparently. He had a wake the other day at Timothy Dolan's funeral home. I never was there, but what a beautiful place that was. He had an honor guard there, which I thought was something to do with military, but it turns out that John, or I should say that Bob, he retired from Greenhaven Prison. He was a superintendent. He worked within the prison system. He was a longtime resident of the town. I don't know too much more about him, except that his eulogy is in the Poughkeepsie Journal if anybody wants to read about it. I was really touched by him. He went very suddenly with, I believe it was stage 4 liver cancer. And 3 weeks ago, he was fine, and then all of a sudden, he just passed away. So that's why I got about that one. The other thing was to let you guys know, although maybe I should be directing this to the highway superintendent, as I was driving down Route 7, down toward Dalton Farms and down to where it joins Beekman Road, there's a sign up there that I think it said Beekman, but it's sort of obliterated. And I don't know if we are responsible to replace that sign or whether the county is.
Yeah, which road was it on, Beekman or Beekman Polkway?
When you come down Dalton Farms.
So Beekman Polkway, that's,
Yeah, Beekman Polkway.
Okay, that's not a town.
Okay, well.
That's county
It's a
road.
county road, yeah.
And then when you get down to that stop sign where it joins on Beekman Road, that sign is sort of obliterated, and I think it said Beekman on it. So if the county does it, we'll maybe put in a request to have them redo it so people know what that stood for, or if it's our highway department, that you can tell Tony about it. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
And thank you.
Thank you. If there's one word that I could add as in your description of Bob Seitz, he's a gentleman. He was a true
Yes,
gentleman.
Absolutely.
A lovely man.
That was a really impressed me.
Yeah, very nice man. Okay, I make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.